Kurt in Austin, Texas. I still need to visit Austin, Texas. My son Scott was just there. And our president, Jim Labe, and his family was just there. And they all said they had an awesome time. And there was supposedly some bridge that they all went to watch a bazillion bats come out at night and eat 30,000 pounds of insects. That sounds amazing. So that is a city I have to go to at some point. Okay. Anyway, Kurt, who probably knows all about them bats, he writes to me and he says, I recently purchased what was considered a very vintage Technics receiver, manufactured around 1978. Yeehaw! That was 1 year before my first son was born, Lon, and that he's now in his 40s. Okay. I also have a high-end modern receiver from a well-regarded manufacturer, Denon. Okay. And the vintage piece is demonstrably better sounding. It provides more punch, detail, lifelike imaging. How can this be? The modern receiver is 4 times the cost. I didn't believe it until I experienced it for myself. What, especially from an engineering and technical perspective, creates those very audible outcomes? Well, hold on. All amplifiers sound the same, right? I'm sure they both measure great. Boy, I guess I am flummoxed. Sorry. And next he's going to be saying cables make a difference. What an idiot. Well, let's see. Of course, without having benefit of looking at the schematics to the two, I can only make a guess. And my guess is this. In 1978, there weren't no such thing as digital. It just, we didn't really have digital. It was in the very beginnings, and certainly no receiver from the 70s or probably even the 80s was anything but a pure analog design. And that would be my guess. Way back when everything was analog, you had a much better chance of making a great sounding product even at a relatively low cost. So that's my guess. It's an all analog device, and I would assume the Denon is probably 100% digital. Class D amps, it's, I bet there's not an analog bone in that thing. So I would imagine the Denon probably, the minute you put an analog signal in, it converts it over, it has an A to D converter, it converts it over to digital, they process everything through DSP and put it into Class D amplifiers and spit it out. And that can be very good if that's your goal. If your goal is to sell a bazillion receivers at a good price, then sometimes that's what you get. But that's just a guess, okay? So don't hold my feet to the fire, but that would be my guess. So, all right, thanks for the question. And maybe I'll see you in Austin one of these days. All right.